What are we up to over here? Okay. Where are we? Okay. How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Samach 68 of Masechta Gittin. Friends, very, very interesting daf today, friends. The daf that discusses Ashmadai, the king of the demons. The king of the demons. Well, let's go. Samach Amar Aleph. Samach Amar Aleph. About 15 lines into the page. The last word on the line is Asisi. That Shlomo HaMelech says in Koheles, he says, Asisi li sharim v'sharos v'sanugos b'nei udam shida v'shidos parapampam. Says King Solomon that I made for myself singers and singeresses and all sorts of pleasures of the people, and shidas and shidas. Shidas and shidases. Shidos and shidas. Sharim v'sharos elu minei zemer. Okay, so singers and singeresses is types of singing. V'tanugos b'nei udam, and pleasures of the people. Elu brechos and mechatzos. These are different pools and bathhouses, maybe like Turkish baths. Yeah, okay. Shida v'shidos hachot targimu shida v'shidosin. So here in Bavel, they explain them as, I don't really remember. Yeah. Different types of demons. B'marava amri shidasa. I believe that's like a chariot of sorts. All right. Amr B'Yochanan, says Rabbi Yochanan, Shlosh meus minei shedim ha'ayu b'shichin. Says Rabbi Yochanan, in a place called Shichin, there were 300 types of demons. V'shida atzma en yodei mai, but I don't really know what a demon is, says Rabbi Yochanan. Omer Mai. So we said just a minute ago, Achar Tagimu, here in Bavel, they translate Shida v'shidos, Shida v'shidos, Sheda v'shedsin, boy demons and girl demons. Okay, Shida v'shedsin lemai iboile. Why did King Solomon need boy demons and girl demons? Tichsiv, because the Pasuk says v'abayis b'vanoso, that when they built the temple, even shlema masu nivna v'goma, they had to use complete stones. They couldn't use they couldn't knock on the stone with like a hammer or something. So King Solomon says to the rabbis, Heichi Avid, how do I do this? How do I construct a temple with a restriction that I can't use any like metal tools on the stones? Well, what's it called? I feel like restriction is not the limitation. Maybe limitation is a better word. I feel like there's a better word for like when you want to limit your options. So you get like not like a restriction, maybe it's a limitation. Alright, whatever. Okay. Fine. Okay. Alright. Amulay, so they said to King Solomon, Ika Shmira. There's epis called a shamir. It's a type of worm. The Aisi Moshe La'avne Ephod that Moses used for the stones of the ephod. That the worm would basically eat the stone, and that's how it would be cut. So King Solomon says, where do I find this shamir worm? Amrulay. So they said to King Solomon, Aisi Shida v'shedsin, take a boy demon and a girl demon, kavshinu adade, and put them in a very apply pressure upon them and interrogate them. Efshur diade, maybe they know where this worm is. Umagalu lach, and they'll tell you where you can find this shamir. Aisi Shida v'shedsin. So they brought a boy demon and a girl demon, kavshinu adade, and they applied pressure in interrogations. Amre, they said, Onan lo yadinu, and they said, look, people, we don't know where you're going to find the shamir. Dilma Ashmadoi Malka Deshedi Yoda. But maybe Ashmadoi, king of the demons, maybe he knows. where you could find the Shamir worm. Omer Lihu, so excuse me, but lots of Babylon. So he said to the boy demon and the girl demon, Heicha Isei, where can I find Ashmedai, king of the demons? Amrlei, they said to him, Isei Betur Plan, he's at a certain mountain. Karyale Beira Umayale Maya, and Ashmedai, in this mountain, he has dug for himself a well, a pit, and he's filled it with water. And he covered it with, I think, a stone, and he sealed it with a seal. And every day, Ashmedai the king goes up to the heavens, and he learns in the heavenly academy. And he goes down to the earth, and he learns at the earthly academy. And then he visits his pit and he inspects his seal on his pit. And then he opens up the pit. And he drinks water. And he then covers the pit once again. And he seals it with his gushpanka. So King Solomon sent Benayo ben Yehoyada Yoav le Shushilta dechakik al Hashem, and he gave Benayo ben Yehoyada a chain that had the name of God etched into it. Ve'az kose dechakik al Hashem, and a ring that had the name of God etched into it. Ve'gabove de imra, as well as clumps of wool. Ve'zike de chamra, and skins filled of wine. Ozul kara beira mitatoi. So then Benayo ben Yehoyada went and he dug a pit below Ashmedai's pit. Vishafinu lemaya, and he emptied out the water from Ashmedai's pit. Right, he opened up, he poked a hole in the bottom of Ashmedai's pit and emptied out Ashmedai's water into the pit that he, Benayo ben Yehoyada, dug beneath Ashmedai's pit. Visasminu bigabove de amra, and he plugged the hole at the bottom of Ashmedai's pit with the clumps of wool that he had brought with him. Vichara beira me Eloi, and then he dug a pit above Ashmedai's pit. Vishapchinu lechamra, and then he poured the wine that he brought with him into the pit that he just dug above Ashmedai's pit. Vitaminu, and I don't know what that word means. What does taminu mean? Sosman. And then he sealed them. So basically, what he did was, right. So Ashmedai had this pit that was filled with water. Benayo ben Yehoyada dug a pit beneath Ashmedai's pit and emptied out Ashmedai's water into this lower pit that he dug. Then he dug an upper pit, filled that with his wine, then opened up some kind of hole between the two pits and filled Ashmedai's pit with wine. And all of this was done without having to touch Ashmedai's seal that he inspects every day. He takes a look at his gushpanka. Now Solek Yosef be'ilna, and then Benayo ben Yehoyada went and he sat in a tree. Ki also, when Ashmedai came to drink, Saira the gushpanka, so he inspected his gushpanka to make sure nobody tampered with it. Galye ashkechei chamra, and he removed the stone and he opened up the pit, and sure enough there was no water in the pit. It was wine. Saira, where am I? So Omar, Ashmedai says, no way, no how. I'm not drinking wine. Ksiv, the pasuk says, leit sayayin home esheichar. That Leitzim, not the kind of people that Ashmedai wants to be, nudniks, they drink wine, and it says anybody who drinks wine, you won't become wise. That promiscuity and wine and grape juice will take a fellow's heart. Lo ishti. Ashmedai says, no way, no how, I'm not drinking. Kitzachi lo sagile ishte. Fact of the matter is, though, eventually eventually he needed hydration, so he drank the wine. Rove vegano, and then he got shtickle wasted. I guess maybe he was overtaken by a cordiacus, and vegano, and he fell asleep. Nochis, and Benayo ben Yoyada descended from his perch, also, and he went Shodabe Shoshilta Sasme, and then he locked up Ashmedai in these chains. Ki Asar, when Ashmedai awoke, he was not a happy camper. Havakomi Parzil, he was trying to escape the chains. He was wriggling this way and that, to and fro. Omerle Shma Demarach Allah, to which Benayo ben Yoda says, the name of your master is upon you. The name of your master is upon you. Kinokit le ve'asi. Now and I guess Ashmedai calmed down, he chilled the heck out. So then when Benayo ben Yoyada was taking Ashmedai with him to take him back to Jerusalem, ve'asi somata dikla, they came upon a palm tree. Chaf Bey, Ashmedai brushed. Excuse me, Babylon. Chaf Bey, he brushed upon the palm tree. Shadye, and he knocked it over. Mota levesa, he approached a house. He arrived upon a house. Shadye, and again he brushed against it and knocked it down. Motagabe kova da'i armalta, and then he arrived at the hut of a widow, Nafka, and the widow came out of her hut, Ichanerle, and she pleaded with Ashmedai. Kafa lekumse, so Ashmedai relented, and he quickly changed his direction. Like swerved away from the hut. Isbar begarman, he broke a bone. Omar, and Ashmedai said, Hanin dichsiv, this is what the pasuk says, Veloshin raka tishaber tishbar garim, that a soft speech, the speech of this widow breaks a bone. Choza samya davakotoi ba'orcha. Ashmedai saw that there was a blind fellow who was, who was having trouble going where he needs to go. Ask the orche. So Ashmedai put him back on the right path. He saw a drunkard who was having a hard time walking straight. Ask the orche. So again, Ashmedai helped him out. And he saw that there was a pesachasana. He saw there was a chasana. They were all having a very good time. Bacha. But Ashmedai cried. He heard a fellow instruct a shoemaker. Ovid li misane l'shev shnei. I need you to make me shoes that will last me 7 years. Ochich, and Ashmedai laughed. Chazau kisma dava kosim. Ashmedai saw a wizard, a magician who was magicianing. Ochich, and again Ashmedai laughed. Kimata lehasim, when Ashmedai arrived in Yerushalayim, lo ailua legabe de Shlomo ad tlasa yomi. It took 3 days until finally Ashmedai was brought before King Solomon. Yom Akama, on the first day, Omar Lu, Ashmedai said to the people, Namailo kaboili malka legabe. How come King Solomon has not yet asked for me to come to him? Amrulay, so they said to him, Anse mishtia, he's been drinking too much. Shakal leventa, osiv achaverta. So Ashmedai then took one brick and put it on top of another one. Also Amrulay l'Shlomo, and the guards came to Shlomo and they told him what Ashmedai did with the bricks. Amrulu, hachi amrluchu. This is what he's communicating to you. Hadur ashkua lemacher, give him more to drink the next day because it's good for a hangover. Amar lehu, ve'amai lo ka ba'i li lemacher amar lehu. The next day, Ashmedai said to the guards, "V'amai lo ka ba'i li malka. How come King Solomon has not yet asked for me to come to him?" Ligabe amrulei. So they said to Ashmedai, "Anse meichla. He's been eating too much." Shakol leventa mechaverta osva aaro. So he took one brick from on top of another and put them side by side on the ground. Also, Amrulei the Shlomo. So they came to Shlomo and reported to him what Ashmedai did. Amrulu, and he told them, this is what he's saying to you. Nigidu mine meichle. Hold back from. Don't give King Solomon that much to eat. The Sof Tlasa Yomei Ayel Lekame, and finally, after 3 days, Ashmedai was brought before King Solomon. Shakol Kanya Umashach Aibo Garmide. Ashmedai took a reed and he measured out 4 amis Vishada Kame, and threw the reed in front of King Solomon. Omerle, and he says to King Solomon, Michdi. Look, when a fellow dies, all he has in this world is the 4 amis of his grave. And you, King Solomon, have captured the entire world, and that's not enough for you. You're not satisfied. You also had to capture me. Now, King Solomon says, look, Ashmedai, let's talk business. I don't need anything from you. What I do need is to build the holy temple. And I'm searching for something called the Shamir. And King Ashmedai says, look, I don't have the Shamir. It's the officer, the minister of the sea has the Shamir. And he only gives the Shamir to the wild cock. The Mehemenle Ashvuose, because the minister of the sea trusts the wild cock that he will be trustworthy in his oath. Umay Ovid Bey. What does the wild cock do with the Shamir? Mamti le'leture delezbu yishuv. He takes the Shamir to mountains that do not have any vegetation. Umanachla ashina de Torah, and he puts the Shamir at the summit of the mountain. Ufaka Torah, and the mountain splits open. Umankit maise bizrane me'ilnein. He takes seeds from trees, ushdihasam, and throws it into the split in the mountain. Behave yishuv, and then vegetation grows. Behana de b'targaminon. This is the translation. Nagar Torah bodku kina. What's that thing? Wait, what? Wait, where are we? What? Yeah. Oh, okay, fine. Okay. Yeah, when it's describing the duchifas, it said that Nagar Torah, fine, period. Nagar Torah. So by the duchifas, what was it? I think by the duchifas they said that, what does it do? It like breaks up mountains or something like that? Alright, wait, where am I? Okay, focus, okay, Bad Kukina. Alright, wait, was that what we just did? I don't know. Okay, fine. Well, okay, that was, okay, so I guess it would, I don't remember what that means. Split open mountains or something? Bad Kukina de Tanagola Bara. So they went, okay, so now they said, okay, well, we got to find the wild cock. So they went and they searched after the nest. Who's here? Are the people here?
No one's bothering.
Huh?
No one's bothering.
That's not true. Friends, did you hear what he said? Somebody just came into the house and they said, nobody's bothering me. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. So Bodku Kina de Tarnagola Borab. So they went and they searched for the nest of the wild cock. The Islay B'nai that has children. V'chafuya lekine zugisa, and they covered the nest with glass, chivarti, with white glass. Ki also, and then when the wild cock came, boy lemeo, it wanted to go into the nest, velo motzi also, but it wasn't able to get into the nest because there was glass covering it. I see shamira ve'osve ilave, so he took the shamir worm and placed it on the glass to break the glass. Rama Bekala, and then immediately, who is this? I guess Benayo ben Yoyada, I guess, made quite a sound. Oh, so Rashi says Shlucho shel Shlomo. Okay, the messenger who was sent there. So he went and he made quite a loud sound. Shadye, and the wild cock threw the shamir shakle, and then this messenger took the shamir azul chonak nafshe ashvuasa, and then the wild cock choked itself, strangled itself to death for violating the oath that he had made to the minister of the sea. Omle benayo my taimo ki chazisi la usamyo davakotoi boorcha asikte loorche. So now Benayo ben Yoyada asked Ashmedai, how come when you saw that blind person was having trouble on his way, you helped him out? So Amle Machruze Oli Berakia, because they announced about this fellow in the heavens, the Tzadik Gomer, who that he's a complete righteous fellow, Umanda Avadle Nicho Nafshe, and a fellow who helps him out will be good. Umanda Avadle Nicho Nafshe Zochi Alma Deasi, and somebody who helps out this fellow will merit to the world to come. And how come when you encountered that drunken fellow, you helped him out? So Amarle, Ashmedai said, because they announced about this fellow in the heavens, the Rosh Gomerhu, that he's a very, very evil fellow. So I helped him out, so that any reward that he would get in the world to come, he'll get in this world, and he'll get nothing in the next world. How come when you encountered a chasana, you cried? Omerle, Ashmedai responded, because the fellow is going to die within 30 days, and his wife, his widow, is going to have to wait 13 years for his younger brother, who is now Gittin, to become an adult, so that she can do either Yibum or Chalitza. My taimaki shmaite lau gavra do amrle le ushkifa ovli misani l'shev shnin achichas. How come when you encountered a fellow who asked the shoemaker to make him shoes that will last him 7 years, you laughed? Amrle hau shiva yome leisle. That fellow, he may not even live for 7 days. Misani l'shev shnin boy, and yet he wants shoes that are going to last him 7 years. So my time ki chazisi lau kisma de have a kosim achichas. How come when you encountered a magician who was doing magic, you laughed? Omerle. So Ashmedai responded, Dav Yosef abe goza de malka liksom mai de isa tuse. He was mamish standing right on top of the treasury of the king. If he's such a great magician, he should use his magic to realize that he's on top of unlimited treasures. King Solomon kept Ashmedai around until he completed the construction of the Holy Temple. One day King Solomon was alone with Ashmedai. And King Solomon says to Ashmedai, And we say that when it says Kisuafos, it's referring to the ministering angels. Re'im elu ashedim. And Re'im are the demons. So what makes you, demons, any better than us? And Ashmedai says, well, if you want to really see, take these chains off of me and give me your ring, and I'll show you. So King Solomon removed his chains from him. V'yarvle is saying, and he gave him his ring. Bla'e, and Ashmedai swallowed up King Solomon. Osve lechad gape berakia v'lechad gape ba'ara. He put one of his wings in the heavens and one of his wings on the earth. Paske arba mea parse, and spit out King Solomon 400 parsas. Basically, he spit him out of Eretz Yisrael. King Solomon was now spat out of Eretz Yisrael. Ali Shaita Omer Shlomo, and regarding that time, Shlomo said, "Ma yison la'adam b'chol amolo sheyaymo tachas hashemesh." What benefit does a fellow gain from all of his hard work that he hard works under the sun? V'zehoya chelki mikol amoli, and this was my portion in all of my hard work. My vizeh, what's this? Rav Shmuel, Machlekes Rav Shmuel, Charomer Maklo. One says he had his staff, Charomer Gundo. The other was he had his cloak. So he was spat out of Eretz Yisrael, and now here's King Solomon, who's just been spat out of Eretz Yisrael by the king of the demons, and he's walking around begging. He was going around to houses. Begging for food. Nobody knew who he was. Wherever he arrived, Omer, he says, Ani Koheles. I'm Koheles. I was the king of the Yidden in Jerusalem. Kimoto Gabe Sanhedrin. And when he finally made his way back to Jerusalem and he arrived at the Sanhedrin, Omer Rabbanon, the Rabbanon see this crazy person who's claiming to be King Solomon. And they said, Michde, shota b'chada milsa lo sarich. Look, a crazy person, right? A shota, right? A fool. He's not able to keep the same story. My high. But this fellow, he keeps, right? He's got his story straight. He keeps on saying, I'm King Solomon. I'm King Solomon. Amrule livnayo. So they said to Benayo, Kaboy loch malka legabe. Have you recently seen King Solomon? Omar lehu, lo, he said, and the truth is I haven't seen King Solomon recently. So they sent to all the queens. Has King Solomon been coming to see you? They said, yeah, he has been coming to see us. He's been coming. But they were starting to get suspicious, right? He wasn't summoning Benayo ben Yoyada, but he seems to be spending time with all of his wives. And they said, look, the next time you see King Solomon, check his feet, because demons have the feet of chickens. So shalchu lehu b'muke kasi. Well, he comes with socks on. We can't actually see his feet. And also strangely, said the queens, v'katavelu b'nidusayu. And he's also been sleeping with us when we're nidas. And he's also been sleeping with his mother, Bathsheba. So the rabbis were like, okay, something is very strange here. So they brought King Solomon, and they gave to him a ring and a chain that had the name of God written on it. And when he went into his throne room and he sees Ashmedai, Chazye, Parach, Ashmedai flew away, and that was that. And even so, King Solomon remained fearful of Ashmedai. This is what the pasuk says: that the bed of Solomon, King Solomon, Shishim Gibarim Savla, there are 60 warriors around it. Migibari Yisrael, from the warriors, from the mighty of Israel. Kulam Achuzei Cherev, they're all holding onto their swords. Melumdei Milchama, and they are learned in warcraft. Ish Chaba Yurecho Mipachad Balelos, each fellow had his hand on his sword out of fear of the nights. And I guess that's a reference to Ashmedoi. Rav Shmuel Charam Melech Vehedjit V'Charam Melech Vehedjit V'Melech. Machlokas Rav Shmuel, one says that King Solomon was a Melech Vehedjot, he was a king, and then he became a simpleton, and he never returned to being king. V'Charam Melech Vehedjot V'Melech, where the other opinion is that no, he was a king, and then he became a simpleton, right? As we saw, he was spat out of Eretz Yisrael, but then he returned to being a king once again. Friends, that was the Afsamach Ches of Masech Gittin. We saw the story of Ashmedai. Very, very interesting story. So, that was the Afsamach Ches of Masech Gittin. I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.